When I opened that folder my son gave me, I realized this wasn't just about money. This was about survival. Mine. Dad, you shouldn't have come here. My son whispered this as he slid a thick black folder across the table toward me. We were sitting in the lobby of a modern glass office building, the same place where our family business had once thrived. Now everything felt colder, sharper, like the walls themselves were listening. I pulled the folder closer, my fingers trembling slightly. My son kept glancing around, as if he expected someone to walk in any second. I could feel the tension in his shoulders. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. When I opened the folder, my heart dropped. Inside were signed documents, contracts, bank forms, and legal letters, all pointing to one horrifying truth. Someone in my own family had transferred nearly all of my assets, properties and shares behind my back. And the signatures were mine, or at least they looked like mine. My hands shook. Who did this? I whispered. My son leaned in, voice barely audible. Before you get angry, you need to see the last page. I flipped to the back. There, stapled alone, was a single document. A power of attorney, signed under my name, authorizing a transfer of everything I owned. But the signature wasn't mine. It was a perfect forgery. Before I could speak, my son touched my arm. Dad, they were planning this for months, maybe years. I stared at him. Who, your mother? Your brother? Tell me. He swallowed, hard. It wasn't them. It was someone else, someone you trust even more. My stomach tightened. The only person that fit that description was my younger sister, Hannah. The same sister who had cried at my hospital bed when I had my heart scare last year. The same woman who said she would always protect our family. My son opened another envelope. Inside were emails, printed screenshots, conversations between her and a lawyer I had never met. They talked about securing the transfer, neutralizing resistance, and ensuring he doesn't find out until the process completes. I felt cold, empty, betrayed in a way I never expected. Then my son showed me a voice recording. Hannah's voice, calm, calculated. Once the transfer is complete, he won't have the resources to fight back. Make sure he's kept busy. He trusts us. That's our advantage. I closed my eyes. I couldn't breathe for a moment. Why are you telling me this now? I asked him. He looked down. Because they're coming today? They think you're at home resting. They don't know you're here. You have maybe 2 hours before it becomes irreversible. My mind raced. 2 hours for what? To stop everything, he said. To confront them or walk away with nothing. But it wasn't just financial. As I looked through the documents, I realized they were trying to remove me from the company, from the property trust, even from decisions regarding my own home. They weren't just taking my money. They were cutting me out of the family structure entirely. My voice cracked. Why would Hannah do this? My son hesitated. You need to hear it from her. She's in the building. I stood up, legs heavy. My son guided me into the elevator. As the doors closed, I could feel my heartbeat pounding in my ears. Everything I thought I knew about my family felt suddenly fragile, like glass ready to shatter. When we reached the 14th floor, the hallway was quiet. Too quiet. My son motioned toward a conference room. Inside, through the glass wall, I saw Hannah seated with 2 lawyers. Papers were spread across the table, the finalization documents. I stepped inside. Her head jerked up. For a split second, her face froze. Shock, guilt, fear, all mixing together. Michael, you weren't supposed to be here. I held up the forged document. You forged my signature. She sighed. You left me no choice. No choice? You were going to take everything from me. Her expression shifted, from fear to something colder. You are too emotional, too trusting. The company needs strength, not weakness. This was business. My voice rose. Business? I'm your brother. She didn't flinch. You had your time. Now it's ours. My son stepped beside me. And Hannah. It's over. I showed him everything. Her jaw clenched. You stupid boy. Before she could move, I pulled out my phone. I recorded everything, I said. And my lawyers are already on their way. This building has cameras. Every forgery, every transfer, every meeting, all documented. Hannah stood slowly, eyes narrowing. You think you won, Michael? This isn't over. I looked back at her, feeling a strength I hadn't felt in months. Yes, it is. Security arrived minutes later. The lawyers panicked. Hannah tried to argue, but the documents spoke for themselves. As my son and I walked out of the building, the sun hit my face, warm, bright. And for the first time in a long time, honest. I looked at my son. Thank you. You saved me. He smiled softly. Dad, I wasn't saving your money. I was saving you. And that's when I realized betrayal comes from the ones closest to you. But so does salvation.